Welcome back to Simply New England. Today I am excited. Today we are going to do the final install of the series of 3 of must-have products for your Cfmoto Zforce 950 for under 300 bucks. Now the reason why I call these must-haves, rock sliders, front and rear bumpers. And today is the most important one in my opinion, which is going to be
you can whisper behind my back. You can show me how the odds are up against me all day long. But I've been through the fire and come out alive, and there's no more fear in my eyes. Oh, now I'm rising, and you can't bring me down. You can't stop me now.
Okay, here we are. So, back with the final install, guys. And I'm sure you've been waiting to see what it is. The front of the machine is pointing towards you, so that can tell you only one thing. Today we are going to install the front bumper. So let's open this thing up and see what we got. Let's see here. So the first thing here is going to be this big plate guard, which is going to end up being right down here. So you're going to get a lot of extra protection down lower. We're going to get rid of this plastic, and we're going to have some solid metal. And then we have, let's see here, we have all of our bolts. So comes in a nice little package like that. And then we have, of course, the bumper itself. And nice, just like last time, Cfmotowarehouse.com again is where I got all of these parts that you're seeing. So with that being said, let's get this install going, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Alright, and as most of you have seen from my other videos, I like to start off first by letting everyone know what we're going to need. So the first things first, we're going to need a 10mm socket. We will also go ahead and use a 13mm socket. Right here we have a 4mm hex bit, we've got a 5mm hex bit. You've got the bolts that come with this. You know, just your standard ratchet, might need a bigger one, smaller one. And then there's these spacers here. And these spacers are going to be for when you put the protective plate on the bottom. It's going to give some rise to the plate so you can screw it in. So that's all you're going to need as far as tools and supplies here. And then of course you have the instructions, which from what you can tell when I open this up, they're pretty self-explanatory. It shows you exactly what to do. So I don't think this is going to be too tough. So again, just stick with me and I'll walk you through this step by step, and at the end, hopefully everything looks as it should. Let's get this done. Okay, so the first thing we need to do here is we're going to go ahead and loosen the bolts, and then we're going to remove this, what they call decorative guard. So I'm going to try to do my best to stay out of your way. We're going to start here. We're going to use our 10mm see how these are on there. Should come off pretty easy. Okay. There's the first one. So what it says first is to loosen these up, take them off basically. Okay. That's number one. There's number two. I'll put these aside. And then we've got, there's two more under here. So we'll go ahead and get these. There's that one. All right. Okay. And we'll get some crap falling out there. Don't need the leaves. Leave those for later. And then what it says to do is that you're supposed to, let's see, turn on the main key switch and press the hold winch out button. Let out the winch rope approximately 30 centimeters. And I would guess that's going to be because we're going to have to take off some more things here. So bolts B and mounting bracket C will not be required to install the front bumper. So the ones that we just pulled out, which is B and C, which is the top two, it says we're not going to need to use those again to put this bumper back on. I'm going to keep them over there anyways. I always have to keep the extra parts just in case they're needed. So let's go ahead, and in case you guys aren't aware, what you need to do is just you come over to your unit, turn the key on, hold both of these buttons down. The light will turn red. It says about 30, so just this one here. I'll just pull that out to there. That should be plenty. And then to turn it back off, just hold it again, and the red light comes off. So this is great. I do love this Bluetooth winch remote control. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to need to use this more in the end to wind it back up. So I'm going to just keep it right here with the rest of the stuff. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and remove this front plate right here. So we need to remove what they refer to as bolts B. So that's where we're going to end up using same size again. And this is so afterwards we can get everything reinstalled back on. So let's go ahead and take these off. I'm going to go ahead and just get them all loose to start. Okay. Alright, and that's all those. So I'm just going to take the rest of it out with my fingers. Okay, put those right over here. And that's those. That's nice and easy. Okay, so next we're going to go ahead and remove this front plate right here. So we need to remove what they refer to as bolts B. Okay, so same thing on this side. Get your wrench behind there. Go ahead and just loosen this up. And everything should just come right out. So there's your nut and your bolt. And that's going to come right down. And this is part of the reason why we needed to loosen this up, because this piece here needs to make sure that when we put everything back through, we can bring it through the bumper. So again, I'm going to go ahead and just put all these to the side. And let's look for the next steps now. Okay. So now that we have that off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recommend that you go ahead first, because of the way this is going to install. Go ahead and take off your clamps off this bar, just like I did it on this side. I'm going to go ahead and put those up there ahead of time. So then that way when we get to the part of the bumper install, all we're going to need to do is just line it up. Just go ahead and take this off until the bolt comes out. And it's that simple. So all I'm doing here is just kind of getting these ready. Don't tighten this down all the way, just a little bit, and the only reason why I'm doing that is so this doesn't slide, the clamp doesn't slide up and down when I'm doing the bumper install. So at this point, what we're going to do is, we already have the bumper here. The wires come through it. You can go ahead and see what's going to happen there is once this gets installed, we're just going to slide these clamps up and screw them into the new bumper. So you get the factory bumper, aftermarket bumper. I'm going to try to show you this. Okay guys, so once you have these all lined up, your clamps, one on this side, one on the other side, all you need to do is just come in here, put the bolt, the Allen wrench bolt right through here, through this socket, through the other side, and then just tighten it up. I'm going to go back over here, do the same thing, take this clamp, get that in the other end of the bumper. I'm just going to tighten everything down a little bit. And as you do this, everything will kind of come into place and it'll pull itself all together. You'll notice when you're first putting it together, it feels a little off, but just keep going with it and you'll see how everything will work out in the end. It'll adjust itself. So with that being said, and those are in, I'm going to keep those somewhat loose for now. I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to go ahead and tighten the bolts that hold in this winch piece. Remember, there are the ones that are in there behind, so go ahead and take your 15 millimeter. Hold that right in there. Let's see here. There's that. Yeah, that's all lining up nice. Now that catches. I can go ahead back over on this side. Do the same thing. And you'll see it's really easy to come in from behind here. So once you're in there and on it, it goes in nice. There we go. Hello, the cat. And I'm just going to tighten these up. I'm going to go hand tight to start, just in case I have to come back and adjust something up. So once that's all in, you have all these pieces in. Again, I have not completely tightened these. I haven't completely tightened these. They're all a little bit beyond hand tight, but I want to leave it a little bit of play just in case I have to adjust something or come back and loosen something quickly. I don't want to have to go and do it all over again. So your next piece is going to be right here. So as you can see, get the two inserts right there for the bolts. Just going to line this up. Okay, these are the ones that came with it. So you're going to use the longer ones, the 5 millimeter ones, out front. Okay. So I'm just going to use my knee here to hold them up. And again, I'm going to start this by just hand tightening, just to make sure it's there. Go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Okay, now at least here everything's in place, and I can go back and hold on, I'm gonna go back and straighten these out. Take the two pucks, which are basically going to be spacers for underneath here. Take your two shorter, your 4 millimeters, and climb under your machine. So, looks like we have to remove two underneath, and I'm going to show you that. Okay. So here's the two you're going to remove. 1, 2. There's 1. And there's 2. And that one, I gotta tell you, that was really loose. Oh, scary loose, actually. That was gonna just come out on its own from machine vibration. Okay? So now we pull that out. And then you can see here, these are the spacers. They fit right in there. Okay? So those little puck looking things. Alright. So let's go ahead and line this up. Everything lines up nicely. Okay. Alright, so once you have these lined up with the pucks, just go ahead and tighten them down. Get those nice and tight. Don't tighten them so tight that you strip these. Just, you know, you'll know when it's enough. Yep. That feels good. Okay. So that's in. Okay. You can see how that goes. So it's coming from underneath. Right up here. And then once you come back up this way here, all you have to do now is just tighten these. And same thing with this one. Just tighten it up. Now, one of the cool things here with this bumper is you do have these slots here, so if you wanted to put some additional lights on it or something like that, you'll be able to mount them right here, run your wiring down and back up underneath your system. But guys, that is it. I am going to sign off here. That was a 1 to 10, 1 easy, 10 hard. I'd give it a 3, and the only reason why I give it a 3 is because you do have to do some adjusting. You have to make sure there's certain parts on there you don't tighten all the way. The pucks that went up underneath, it was a little bit tough to align them. Obviously, it can be done. I did it. And remember, if I can do it, you can do it. So in reality, probably a 2, but I'm just going to say a 3 because there is some coming back to things and loosening stuff up to adjust. But other than that, quality piece, cfmotowarehouse.com. And I did want to give a shout out today. I did a video last week and I forgot. Redneck Garage. He does a lot of these types of installs. He goes a lot deeper than just bumpers and things like that. He's ripping off brakes and throwing on calipers, tie rods. You name it, that guy can do it. Redneck Garage. He clearly is a real mechanic where I am a backyard, let me figure it out mechanic. But yeah, let me give Steve a shout out over there at Redneck Garage. Go ahead and check him out. I told you I'm a man of my word, Steve. If I told you I'd give you a shout out, I'll give you a shout out. I didn't forget about you purposely last time. Guys, I'm doing that because there's 3 folks in the Cfmoto world that came along before I did, and that's Justin the Creator. You got Blake, Real Talk Power Sports, and again, Steve over there at Redneck Garage. So guys, make sure you tune into their channel. Give them a subscribe. Follow them as well. And of course, if you like what I'm doing, go over to Simply New England. Give me a subscribe. Hit the bell. Like the video. It helps me out. Really trying to grow. I'd like to try to get to 500 subscribers within the next couple weeks. Right now I'm at about 410 or 15. So, yeah. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, help me out and subscribe and help my buddies out as well on the other channels. Thanks a lot. Simply New England. Aaron signing out. Peace.